Should WordPress be your first choice for building new websites, even with all the other options out there? The boring answer is yes, why not? But the more nuanced answer is probably, and that's what I want to discuss in this video today. Last year, I made a video titled, "Is WordPress Dying?" where I talked about the entire story of WordPress and how it became the world's most popular CMS. But for various reasons discussed in the video, it had suddenly dipped in popularity in recent years. Given that Barn2 is a WordPress plugin company, we have a great deal of interest in the popularity of WordPress as a whole. So we took another look at the numbers to see what's really going on in the industry. But what I want to focus on is what all this means for you guys, the web developers, agencies, designers, and entrepreneurs who are watching this video. Should you continue to stick with WordPress? And is it even worth learning how to use it if you're a newcomer? I'll be honest, there are still some pretty big challenges that WordPress needs to overcome in order to regain its status as the #1 choice for web designers, many of which I'll be discussing in a minute, and hopefully we can answer the main question of this video: is WordPress still relevant today? Created by Matt Mullenweg and Mike Little in 2003, WordPress is an open source content management system that's grown over the last 20 years to power more than a third of all websites in 2024. But it's so much more than just software. It's a worldwide community of professionals who contribute their time and skills to maintain and update it. Not to mention countless private companies such as Barn2 that add more flexibility and options with the addition of plugins. Slight tangent, sorry, but if you weren't yet aware, there are hundreds of WordCamp events happening all over the world each year. I've personally been to 2 main events in Europe and 1 in Asia as well. It's an amazing opportunity to meet like-minded people who are obsessed with WordPress. And you can even meet the creator, Matt Mullenweg himself, if you're lucky. So that's all well and good, but what about the numbers? Are people still using WordPress like they once did? The web design landscape has evolved quite a lot in just the last few years. Tools like Wix, Squarespace, Webflow, and even Canva are gaining a lot of popularity for their simplified approach to building websites. And in the world of e-commerce, there's no doubt that Shopify has carved themselves a huge slice of the pie recently, especially in the USA, which is also the world's most lucrative online marketplace. So how has all of this competition impacted WordPress? According to W3 Tech's, 43.4% of all websites on the web use WordPress. These include websites that run on a CMS, without a CMS, and custom coded CMSs. This means that well over a third of the entire internet runs on WordPress. But a more detailed look at the data reveals a noticeable dip that started in 2022. Usage then stagnated for a considerable time period, likely due to strong competition in the space. However, as of 2024, WordPress is once again growing at a healthy pace. And with over 2 million downloads every year, it's easy to assume that the steady rise will continue. WordPress's market share is actually much larger, up to 62.9% specifically, if you only consider websites running a known CMS. This includes websites running WordPress.com. It's worth mentioning that WordPress.com is owned by Automatic, the same company which contributes to the WordPress.org project and is owned by Matt Mullenweg. Another tangent. I know it's easy to confuse WordPress.com and WordPress.org. For those unfamiliar, WordPress.com is a commercial hosting service that uses a modified version of the WordPress CMS. It has a simplified website builder that allows users to create websites easily, whereas WordPress.org gives users full control over site customization. This means that you can install any theme or plugin you'd like on your website. And if we compare these numbers with other popular content management systems like Joomla or Drupal, WordPress doesn't face any serious competition. Similarly, hosted site builders such as Wix and Squarespace are still far behind WordPress in terms of their user base. Shopify is its closest competitor, which powers only 4.2% of websites worldwide. To summarize all of this, it looks like the future of WordPress is actually quite bright. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Let's address some of the real challenges that still overshadow this recent resurgence. Originally launched as part of the WordPress core in December 2018, the first edition of Gutenberg, a block-based page builder, arrived riddled with issues and bugs. It was understandably met with criticism and one-star reviews from the community, who felt that a feature built for WordPress.com customers was being unnecessarily pushed onto users of the open-source WordPress.org project. This backlash is really clearly illustrated by the fact that the Classic Editor is the fourth most popular plugin in the entire ecosystem. Now, thankfully, in recent years, the project has made some clear steps in the right direction. It was always part of the plan to roll things out slowly over many years. And as it becomes more mature, it's finally starting to grow in popularity. YouTubers like Jamie Marsland are showing the world what's really possible when you embrace the core features. And the rapid growth of his channel shows that there's demand for it too. Plus, there's a very clear plan for the future of Gutenberg. So I, for one, am really looking forward to it becoming the next big thing in the page builder space. The WooCommerce plugin is paradoxically both a huge strength and a big potential weakness for the success of WordPress as a whole. What do I mean by that? Well, on the positive side, there's a lot of good that can be said about the open source marketplace that WooCommerce provides. It's infinitely customizable and scalable while remaining inexpensive compared to other options. And it's immensely popular, powering well over a third of online stores, according to data from storeleads.com. The problem is that it's currently losing the battle for new merchants, who recently have been opting for other SaaS solutions, most notably Shopify, who tripled their market share between 2020 and 2024. Shopify also dominates the US market, where they have about 30% market share compared to around 20% for WooCommerce. One of the main reasons for this is the ease of use and lightning-fast onboarding that Shopify offers, compared to the confusing and somewhat complicated set of steps needed to get started with WooCommerce. And while it may be cheaper to use WordPress as a whole, the costs are split up into hosting, domain registration, and any number of additional plugins, making it unclear how much you'll have to pay as a new merchant, instead of the simple monthly fee charged by Shopify. This may seem a bit trivial, but there's no denying that compared to its slick and modern-looking competitors, the WordPress interface feels a bit outdated. This is obviously subjective, so you can let me know your thoughts in the comments about this. But I personally think that WordPress needs to consider adding a more modern-feeling UI in order to really attract those new users. The good news is that talented people from both the core team at Automattic and dedicated community members are working hard to solve these and many other challenges. And if you see a need, you can help to fix it by either notifying the team or becoming a contributor yourself. WordPress has a lot going for it. Its diverse and ever-expanding plugin ecosystem, its open source nature, and the popularity of WooCommerce are all great. But the real strength of WordPress lies in its community, the tens of thousands of individuals who not only love using WordPress, but take the time to make it better. And in my opinion, they're the reason that WordPress remains relevant today and will still be relevant for many years to come. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and as always, the comment section is open for you to leave your opinion on this topic. If you want to learn more about Barn2 plugins, then check us out with this link here, or watch this video if you want to learn how to create your own WooCommerce shop from scratch. And of course, thanks for watching.